Starting sitting in a comfortable cross-legged position on your mat or your seat. We'll check in with the physical body today, noticing how you're feeling in the lower limbs and hips. It might be nice to rock a little from side to side here so that you can feel if there's any clingy or tension holding areas in the hips. Just noticing. Sensations in the lower back, abdomen, the rib cage, chest. Noticing sensations present in the shoulders. Again, feel free to move them around. Arms and hands, and the neck, head, and face. And we'll start by just dropping the chin towards the chest and making a kind of half circle on the chest with your chin. So just rocking chin from side to side, releasing tension from the neck, gently. Just a couple more times. Noticing how one side is different than the other and sensing the connections. When you move your head, does it pull towards your shoulder or does it pull towards your ear? It's a little bit of awareness. And we'll turn this into a neck rotation. So from the center, bringing the right ear to the right shoulder, looking gently upward, left ear to left shoulder, and then looking at the chest, and then reverse the direction. Really slow and gently. You do not have to make a big movement, especially if you just got out of bed. You can keep going back and forth. So every time you come to the center, gently reverse the direction. And again, noticing what's going on. Any sounds that might be coming out of your neck or sensation. Maybe one more on each side. Inhaling the arms up to the center and exhaling, pressing them down. Inhale, looking up at the thumbs. Exhale, as we press the arms down, the shoulders blades go down and back, so the chest is nice and open. Inhale, looking up. And exhale, pressing down and back. One more like that. Inhale. And exhale. And then we'll go ahead and take a side stretch. Reaching over to the right side with the left arm. Grounding through the left hip. And rotate through the spine, looking at the right knee, twist in the spine. You can drop the left hand if you like to increase the twist, pushing into the right hand. Walking our hands to the center, a little hip stretch here. And then walking the hands over to the left side, twisting through the spine. My sternum wants to align itself with the knee. And coming into the side stretch on the other side. Arcing the right arm up and over, leaning into the left. Inhale up and out, and we'll find our way to a tabletop position. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And just starting in the neutral spine position, taking a couple of breaths here. Feeling some weight on the hands and wrists. And then we'll cat-cow the spine. So inhaling, tailbone, top of the head up towards the ceiling. And exhale, round into the back, dropping the top of the head towards the floor. On your own breath, 4 cycles of cat-cow. And taking the same kind of awareness that you had on your neck movements into the spine. So noticing where you feel tension, noticing without judgment sounds that you might hear coming out of the back. Where you feel freedom versus where you feel tenderness or tightness. And then we'll take our knees pretty wide apart, big toes come to touch, hips back towards the heels. The heels might touch, hips might touch the heels, they might not. You're going to stretch the arms out and drop the forehead down. 5 deep breaths here, focusing your breath into the back of the body. Try to spread the shoulder blades apart with your inhalations. You're pressing the palms down into the floor, lifting the armpits up off of the mat. I'm going to slide the back of the right hand underneath the left and drop the shoulder, coming into the spinal twist. You can drop your head here and just relax the neck. And if your spine feels up for it and you want to twist further, take your left hand more in front of your face and push it into the floor, using your arm strength to increase the twist. And then we'll unwind. Reaching the right arm forward, we thread the left arm underneath the right armpit, drop the shoulder. You can drop the head here. And again, you can stay where you are or slide the right hand in front of the face, pushing into the floor to increase the twist. And come back to the center, finding your tabletop. One more time. Knees underneath the hips. Tucking the toes under, pressing the heels back, hips back into the heels to stretch the arches of the feet and the backs of the toes. Deep, slow breaths in and out through the nose. Few more breaths here. And shift forward, release the toes. Come to sit into the hero pose with the knees touching the feet wider than the hips. Relax the shoulders down. So we're stretching the feet in the opposite direction. Great. I like to take my ankles here. It helps me keep my chest open and my shoulders back. 3 breaths in hero. And then shifting everything forward. Lower legs parallel to each other and the hips over the knees as if you were doing the camel pose. We're going to be working on the ankle and hip mobility here. So we'll step the right foot forward, shift everything forward, getting a hip flexor stretch, and also letting your front knee pass your ankle so that you are also flexing the ankle. It doesn't have to be a big shape, but slightly letting the knee pass the ankle. Shifting the hips back, we'll take a hamstring stretch here. Rock the toes back. If you like, you can fold. There's cat hair, everyone. Cat hair, everyone. Shifting forward. There's the culprit. And then one more time, shifting back. Let the hips come over the knees. We're going to slide this foot right back into position and do the other side. So the left side, lunging forward, hip flexor stretch, and the knee can pass the line of the ankle. You're not holding your body weight, so this is not, should not be uncomfortable on your knee because the back knee is down. Instead, you want to work on that ankle mobility. And then the hips come back, flex the foot, take it forward, fold if you like, or you can stay upright. Try to find your balance. The more the front foot is flexed, the more you're going to feel it down in the calf muscle. And then we shift everything forward again. And shift everything back. Hip is over the knee. Pull this left foot back to meet its friend. Tuck the toes under, sitting on the heels, stretching the arches of the feet one more time. 3 breaths here. Let's take our hands to the lower back, elbows reaching back, shoulders reaching back. Deep, slow breaths in and out through your nose. Trying to shift the weight in the feet a little bit towards the big toe. So the big toe tends to be the least flexible here. So we're trying to give it the most stretch. This can be uncomfortable, but it shouldn't be painful. So release out of it somewhat if it feels really not great. And then come up, take the feet apart, sitting in your hero pose again. Here you can grab opposite elbows or bring your hands in a prayer position behind the back. So you're grabbing opposite wrists or opposite elbows or making a prayer position with your hands behind the back. Really opening up the chest, letting the hips sink down and stretching the front part of the ankle. Good. Releasing the arms. All right, we're ready to tuck the toes, coming through the tabletop and press ourselves up into downward facing dog. And the same thing as usual, we want to bend one knee and then the other, or shift the hips from side to side, wherever your body needs extra movement here, you can listen to it and take it with advice. You may also want to move your head, releasing the neck. And we walk our feet to meet the hands, coming into a forward bend at the front. Feet right underneath the hips. My knees are soft here. Spine is relaxed, the head is heavy. Slow breaths in and out through the nose. Bend the knees, drop the tail, rolling ourselves up through the spine, vertebra by vertebra. Head is the last thing to arrive, and the shoulders can come up, back, and down. One more time, up, back, and down. Okay. Shifting our weight into the left foot, keeping that nice vertical alignment. You can soften the right knee, and I like to take my hands to the waist for balance. And we're just going to slowly lift the right foot. So using the strength of your hip flexor, the front of the pelvis. The leg doesn't have to be straight because it's already heavy. And take a couple breaths here. And then slowly lowering it down. And do the same side again. Slowly lowering the leg up, not using any momentum. Keeping the knee soft. Maybe 3 breaths here, using that hip flexor straight. And slowly releasing down. Shake it out, and then shifting the weight into the right leg. Hands on the waist for support. The left leg is going to come up. One side will always be different than the other. Try not to use the quad so much and focusing on the strength of the hip flexor right at the front of where your thigh meets your pelvis. If possible, and slowly lower down. And then one more time lifting up. And from here, inhale, open the chest, looking up. Exhale, coming through the forward fold. Bend the knees slightly so that you can bring your fingertips to the floor, ideally. And if you have trouble reaching the floor, since you're in your home, you can always use whatever you have handy, right? If you have a footstool or cushions or things like that. Any kind of props, you don't need to buy fancy yoga props unless you want to. From here, we're going to slide the right foot back, coming into a standing L. So my toes are still facing the floor. My right heel is facing the ceiling. And we're going to pulse here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Trying not to rotate the toes out. 3, 2, 1. Bring it back slowly. And we'll do the other side. So it's easy to want to turn the toes out, so try to focus on keeping them facing the floor, pulsing 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Grabbing opposite elbows, relaxing the back of the neck, soften the knees, hanging in ragdoll here. 5 breaths. Let your head be heavily. Bring the fingertips back to the floor. Heel toe the toes out towards the outer edge of the mat if you're using one, wider than your hip distance apart, and drop the pelvis coming in to a resting squat or yogi squat. So You may have to adjust your feet position, that's fine. And for some people, their heels will pop up off the ground, and that's fine. But we did do some groundwork to help with that. Really open the knees to make space to sink down in your spot. And we'll bring the hands in front of the heart. Ready. And if this is quite comfortable for you, that's great. Then try to focus your attention on what's going on in your feet. So, do you feel like your feet are collapsing inward? The arch of the feet flattening? Then you want to rotate the hips and put your weight into the outer parts of the feet a little bit. Then, even if this is usually a comfortable position for you, it will be a more active one for most people. Deep, slow breath in and out through the nose. Two more breaths here. Bring the hands to the floor. We stretch the backs of the legs, keeping the legs turned out. And then connecting that movement with the breath. So inhaling, opening the chest, dropping the hips. Exhaling, stretching the hips, dropping the head. 3 more like that. Inhale. And exhale. 2. And last 3. And from the forward stretch, bring your feet back underneath your hips. Inhale, coming all the way up, reverse swan dive. Exhale the hands in front of the heart. Breathe here. Stepping the right foot back, both feet facing forward, hands on the waist. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, trying to keep the back flat as we move forward. Pyramid pose. So this doesn't have to be a deep forward bend, but instead keep your spine long. Tail is moving back behind you, and the crown of the head moving forward. Two more breaths here. Inhaling up and out. I'm going to turn my right foot to the side and step it back a little bit more. So they're perpendicular to each other. Left toes facing forward and right toes facing side. Turning my body to the side. Reach out through the left fingertips and tip at the waist. Trikonasana triangle pose. Reaching the right fingertips up towards the ceiling. I'm just resting my lower hand on my shin today. But sometimes it goes to the floor, and that's, up to your capacity, what feels good. But we do want to keep the body oriented to the side. Inhale up and out. Sweeps the right arm through, turning towards that left foot. I tuck my right toes under, reach the fingertips up. Deep, slow breath in and out through the nose. Circle the arms around. Swoop them forward and come into that standing L that we did before. And then bending the right knee comes next to the left, step the feet together, forward bend. Soften the knees, drop the tail, roll yourself up through the spine. Head is the last thing to arrive. Let's take 3 shoulder rolls back. Noticing again any sounds or sensations coming out of the shoulders and neck. Hands come in front of the heart. Breathe here. Hands come to the waist, stepping the left foot back. So I like my feet a little bit apart in pyramid pose, width-wise for balance. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, keeping the legs straight and the spine straight. That might mean you go quite far. It might mean you don't go very far, and that's fine. Tail is moving back. Head is moving forward. Inhale, up and out. Turning the back leg to the side. So the feet are perpendicular to each other. You might want to take more distance apart here. Arms reach out. Inhale here. You okay? Okay. Exhale, reaching out through the right fingertips and tip. Trikonasana, triangle pose. And again, your triangle can be as high or as low as you want it to be today. Sweeping the left hand forward, bending the right knee, tuck the left toes, and reach. And then we'll circle the arms around, find the floor, coming into the standing L, standing splits. Bend the left knee and step the foot underneath the hips. Forward bend, bending one knee and then the other, alternating. Gently releasing the hamstrings. So soften the knees, drop the head, round the back, and then roll up. Vertebra by vertebra. Head is the last thing to arrive. Hands come in front of the heart. 3 breaths here. Coming onto the floor, gently, slowly. And we're going to come into a stag position, which we've done a lot of times. So my right leg is forward, about parallel. The shin is about parallel to the front of my mat, or I have about 90 degrees, give or take. And the left leg is behind. And when you first come into the position, it's common to want to fall to the right side. So we'll take a little bit of time here and just shift the hip forward and back, letting your weight fall into the left leg, the back leg, because we're usually better at external rotation than internal rotation. So that is one reason why we tend to be uneven here. Once you feel a little bit more solid, you'll rotate yourself towards the front. Draw the shoulder blades back. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, folding forward over the right leg. I'm keeping my hands kind of back, but you can also bring them forward. Walking yourself back up. And we'll rotate to the right. Right arm comes up and around behind you. Left hand to the outside of the right knee and twist. And unwind. And twisting to the left. Left arm comes up and around. Right hand can come to the right leg or the left leg to increase the twist. Unwind. Slide the legs in front. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, forward fold to the shins or the ankles or the big toes, keeping the chest open and the spine long. And then switching to the other side. The left shin is parallel to the front, right leg behind you. And again, starting with just rocking the pelvis forward and back, letting your weight shift into the back hip. Experimenting with the internal rotation. Rearing yourself to the front. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, forward fold. And then open out. Taking a twist to the left side. Left arm comes up and around behind you. Right hand to the left knee to increase the twist. Then we unwind and twist to the right. Right arm behind you. And the left hand can support on your left leg or your right leg. Whatever feels better to increase the twist. And you unwind and send the legs forward. One more time coming into the forward bend. So toes are flexed, spine is long. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, keep the chest open. Draw the shoulder blades back as you lay your belly on your thighs. So instead of this C-curve shape, we're trying to make a more geometric shape here. Draw the shoulders back, chest is open. And if you can't get as far forward that way, that's fine. You can use your legs for support. And actively pull your chest through, or your feet if you can reach them. Inhale up and out, putting the soles of the feet together. This time, if your head drops and your spine rounds, that's okay. We're going to fold forward over the butterfly. This time, letting your back of your neck release. And rolling yourself back up. Coming to a seated position, using a cushion if you like. In a comfortable cross-legged position, I'm taking Sukhasana, easy pose, with one heel close to the body and the other heel stacked in front or on top. Spine is tall. And today we're going to work on our three-dimensional breathing. We want to breathe into the rib cage here. So to start with, you can close your eyes if you like, lengthen through the spine, and just take some normal breaths, allowing your body to breathe naturally without force or control. And notice where you move in your torso. Natural movements that occur with the breath. So maybe your chest is moving, maybe the rib cage, maybe your belly, maybe all three. Noticing without judgment, is the movement primarily in the front of your body, in the sides, or the back? Do your shoulders move? And we're going to encourage freedom of movement in the rib cage, starting by wrapping the hands front ways around the ribs. So my thumbs are on the back ribs and my fingertips on the front ribs. And then lengthen through the crown of the head. And again, soft, natural breaths. They don't have to be tremendously deep. And using that biofeedback, see if you can evenly move the fronts and sides and backs of the lungs or the ribs. So the whole rib cage is pressing into the hands when you inhale. And releasing like an umbrella closing when you exhale. Belly and chest can be soft. Three more breaths like that. Releasing your hands. You can touch index fingers to thumbs if you like. Letting the breath move naturally through the body. Just inviting the abdomen to soften if you can. Imagine that your ribs, the muscles in between the ribs can soften so that the ribs can move freely. The muscles surrounding the shoulder blades are soft. And although your hands are no longer on the ribs, just taking 10 deep breaths here, imagining you can really sense the front and back expansion of the ribcage. And perhaps even visualize the ribcage moving with your mind's eye. See if you can soften the tongue and the jaw. The throat and the shoulders. A few more deep breaths here. Return to normal breathing. And just like at the beginning of the class, dropping the chin towards the chest and rocking the chin from side to side, inscribing a small half circle on your chest. Notice the sensations of the neck. Invite it to soften and release a little bit more if you can. Coming to the center, bringing the right ear to the right shoulder. Letting the head be heavy. The muscles between the left ear and the left shoulder, invite them to soften and release. Dropping chin to chest again, we rock over to the left side, nice and slow, left ear to left shoulder. Head is heavy. Breath is smooth and even. And then coming up, vertical, index fingers touching the thumb, spine is tall, checking in with the state of the physical body, noticing sensations that are present in the hips and legs, changes that may or may not have occurred today. Just checking in, no judgment. The state of the lower back and abdomen, the rib cage, shoulder blades, and chest. Shoulders, arms, and hands. The neck, head, and face. Awareness of the state of the physical body. Awareness of the current state of the breath. And awareness of the state of your thoughts. Bring the palms of the hands together in front of the heart. Let the thumbs lightly touch the sternum. And as we bow forward, thumbs touch the eyebrow center. Hari Om Tat Sat. And thank you as always for practicing.